Okay, so today I'm gonna try in a different angle for the camera, and I also get a lot of, I try many microphones and everything, but I just realized that this is the easiest way, and I know many people complain about my breathing being so strong through the microphone, so I'm just gonna get it away from my nose so it doesn't hear so strong. Anyway, I try many microphones, and I had there are some weird things that I have to configure, so I decided for now just to have the headsets, and then I'll see in the future what I can do about it. But anyway, today I'm just gonna record a few videos, and then I'll see how we can continue in the future. Because I was thinking about having a very nice set of microphones and camera, but it's just not working. I don't know why, and it doesn't matter. So let's go with the first in English because I have a list. So keep sending, please. I think I like the format of the short videos because then we don't make the video so long, and in that way I can just check the video and then make my comments because usually I talk a lot. So please let me know anything if I'm speaking too much, or sometimes if I'm not answering your question, please let me know also so I can go into more details. But anyway, let's go into today's video. Yeah, it's a video from YouTube, and I think it's a short video. Let's see what it says.
This is about the spiritual or
Oh wait, there's a question about this. It says, "Hi Eduardo, thank you. I sent you a video about Eluña Noelle. My question about her is, do you think she's really channeling?" Okay, so I'm gonna watch the video.
soul body. And the Arcturians are saying that
I can tell you already, no, she's not. I don't know if she's claiming to be channeling because that's a different thing. And also, there are many types of channeling because everyone channels in their own way. Um, but let's say that there are a few types of channeling, and one of the most common ones is that through intuition, people are getting messages, and that's channeling basically. Another thing is that some people kind of get messages and they are just saying their messages. And that's like someone is sending you messages, let's say, and you're just sharing whatever you hear. That can be the case of this lady, Eluña, is what I see in her channel. And another thing, which is the most common, or not the most common, but what most people talk about, is the trance channeling, where the person is completely in trance and there is another being talking through the body, which is the one that I'm more used to because I work with people, and I for many reasons. But anyway, check the books. Pretty much everything what I'm sharing here is coming from the books, except the when I'm checking the videos. But anyway, I just saw a few seconds and I can tell you that no, she's not channeling, at least not trance channeling. But let's see what else she says.
the beginning of this video, I mentioned how your plasma body is your soul. So by you choosing to electrify yourself,
Okay, I'm gonna stop the video here. She's talking. I can tell you now that she's not really trance channeling. If she's claiming that she's trance channeling, then she's not. And there are several reasons, and one of the reasons is because there is one specific way of humans doing things, like special way of thinking, special way of expressing themselves, moving the hand, moving the head, and everything I can see here is a human. I don't know if she's claiming to be trans channeling, but if she is, then I can say that she's not. And I just saw it's very, very clear to me. And I learned this with the Syrians, but I'll go into details later. But sometimes some people don't want to say that they are not really trans channeling because they want to be heard. And many people will not pay attention to them if they don't say that they are not trans channeling. Let's say there's one person who wants to share a message and the message is good, but if it's just a normal person, people might not hear them because they want to hear like there's a being behind this person. Otherwise, they will not pay attention. So that's why many people, I believe, they do this kind of fake trance channeling. I don't know if, please somebody tell me if she claims to be trance channeling, but if that's the case, she is not. So another thing is, where do they get their information from? Because many people can get the information from a book, from videos, or somebody told them, and then they can just repeat the same thing, which is also very common for some people to just repeat what they know from books or from videos. And many times they just repeat what they heard. They repeat the same over and over, and eventually it becomes like a truth for the spiritual community. But it doesn't really necessarily mean that it is like that. It's just that people hear it from many sources, and it becomes like an absolute truth, but it's not, or nobody actually question where is coming this information. And another thing is that I see that she, in the title, she said that he mentioned the Arcturians, which is interesting for me, is that many people claim to channel the Arcturians or the Pleiadians, which are the most famous ones. But in reality, there are so many beings, not only these two. So it makes me wonder that, like, only people suddenly a lot of people appeared out of nowhere and they started to channel, and it's interesting for me that they are channeling only the Pleiadians or Arcturians because they are the most famous ones. So I don't know if they are doing this with the intention of sounding cool or just trying to, because it really depends on the intention of the person, because some people are really into making a business, getting some money, and some people want attention. But there's also people who have really good intentions. So I don't know the intentions of this lady, but I can say that she's not trans channeling for sure. So, but maybe they have a good message. So let's see if they have um, a good message. But anyway, if I see something in the video that you can see why she's not trans channeling, then I'll point it out.
Please don't literally do that.
Okay, she's laughing here. Usually, not always, but usually, when a person is trans channeling, the emotions are kind of stable. And this is not always the case, but it's quite common because emotions is basically energy in the body. And when you are talking about one specific topic, a human can change the emotions because there's energy up and down and there are changes. But when you're trans channeling, usually it's more stable. And also the beings on the other side, they are not because the trans channeling is only like a translation of their energy from the being, and it's only like, let's say, 10%, 15% in the body. Otherwise, it's too much. And also on the other side, they are not having this shift there to make it. Otherwise, the human will wake up. So, so it's very, how to say, it's very unlikely for a being that is channeling or is talking through a human body to have ups and downs in order to make the human body to have changes in the emotions. And in this case, I can see that she's laughing, so I think she's not trans channeling. Maybe she's not claiming that she's trans channeling. Maybe she's claiming that she can hear messages and then she's just saying what she hears. That's a different thing. That's also some kind of channeling, but it's not trans channeling. But again, also in this kind of channeling, the emotions usually also are kind of stable. So I don't know if I don't know what she's claiming to do, but maybe she's exaggerating a little bit. I don't know, because in some cases people exaggerate to sound more cool, and which sometimes is understandable because also the public or their audience wants to hear something cool. But that's a different topic. Let's focus on this and let's see what she says.
I mean, in terms of giving your attention to your to the atomic level, to your electric heart,
Okay, there's another thing. She mentioned atomic level. Some of the most common thing that I hear, and it's not always the case, but something that I see in fake channelers, and again, I'm not saying that she's a fake channeler because I don't know what she's claiming, but and many fake channelers, let's say many fake trans channelers, they use these type of words, and it doesn't necessarily mean that they're beings that are using these words or they're not using these words. There are many types of expressions, but something that is very common is that many people use these words like atomic, quantum, vibrations, frequency, and I have spoken to many beings, mainly the Syrians, but I have talked to many others, and they don't sound like this. They don't try to sound cool. They don't try to say words that are like how to say popular lately. That's more like a human thing. What it can happen also is that the being is sending a normal message. Let's say instead of vibration, is saying a feeling. But the person, the brain, is translated that message into vibrations or something else because it's using the belief system of the channeler in order to transmit the message. That can be a different thing. But anyway, what I want to say is that many times when we see a person, could be a channeler or a guru, talking about words like these, like quantum, atomic, let's pay attention because sometimes they can just try to be sound cool. And again, I have nothing against her. I'm just saying what I really believe, and I really believe what I'm saying right now. But I don't know what she's claiming. If she's claiming that she's trans channeling, then for sure she's not. But maybe she has a nice message, so let's hear it.
To your electric mind and brain, by you choosing to be aware of that, you are coming closer to your soul. You are inviting the energy of your soul to be one with you. So, as you choose to do this, there is a process.
I don't know if you heard that like this. For me, it's interesting that, I mean, it's just my experience, but it's very interesting for me that many people get messages from higher dimensional beings, but they focus more on messages. Like, for example, I can see that she's not breathing properly through the nose, which is one of the most important things that I learned with the Syrians. And again, just because I learned this with the Syrians, it doesn't mean that all beings have this message for humans. But I don't know, I just find interesting that some people are contacting many beings, and these beings are telling them messages that, like very general messages that everyone is talking about, beautiful words, with in a beautiful with cool words, like cool words meaning vibrations, quantum, atomic, but they're not learning how to take care of their emotions, how to take care of their thoughts, how to breathe properly through the nose. Again, some channelers might learn this, but some others are not. What I find interesting is that many people who claim to be in contact with higher dimensional beings, they are not, there's not, they have not beautiful words to share, but they are not applying it in their lives, or they are not showing it with the example, let's say. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I don't know her at all, so I don't mean to say anything negative about her, but the question was, is she channeling? Well, she's not trans channeling for sure. And honestly, I actually think that she's not channeling, not even with intuition. I think she's having a lot of thoughts, which um, it happens. But anyway, I can be wrong, but I really think that for sure she's not trans channeling. And okay, I'll continue watching.
Process of even greater evolution that takes place because you are now inviting every parallel version of you.
Something that I learned from the Syrians is that you can really feel the energy behind the words. And one of the ways for me to know if someone is really trance channeling is because I can feel that energy. And even through the video, usually, not always. But I don't feel anything here. For me, she's a human and she's thinking. Because I don't sense any. Sometimes some humans are really in alpha wave, they're really focused on something and the energy changes. But in this case, I feel like it's not the case. So with the Syrians, every time they are talking, even though they are talking about something that is not, it doesn't sound so cool, you can sense something. And they actually say that many people need that energy and not the words. And this is what I learned with the Syrians, and I don't sense it here. So that's why many times I know when someone is channeling and when someone is not. Another thing is that it became very popular with channeling lately that many people give messages, just messages. Even even if the message is, it can be a very general message, and it can be something that sounds cool, but there are real channelers also who just give messages, but there are other beings who can do much more than just messages. They can heal. They can heal directly when when the person is channeling in front of someone else. They can heal the person. I have experienced this, and it's real. I mean, I'm not saying things that I heard. I'm saying things that I experienced directly. And they can also heal from the distance. Like, for example, right now, I'm in Europe right now, and I talk to the Syrians through the body of a person who is in Mexico. And I have asked sometimes the Syrians to heal me, and it's something physically that I can feel, and I ask them for healing, and in a few seconds they give me instructions, and then in a few seconds it's totally healed, totally. So it's interesting for me that many people have this idea of channeling as something that has to be only nice messages. But the real channel, I mean, there are some channelers that are not providing any healing. But for me, the one of the ways how to know if he's a very advanced being is if they are actually healing from the distance. But some beings don't want to do that, which is understandable, and they just want to provide some messages. But it's interesting that many new channelers are just copying. Probably what I believe is that they started to see channelers providing messages, so they just started to copy that and started to do the same thing. But when it comes to healing, they cannot do it because they're humans pretending to be channeling. But real beings channeling, real channelers channeling are providing healing, and that's something you cannot fake. But anyway, I'll continue.
To come into wholeness, to come into oneness as your soul. The reason we continue to experience pain and suffering is because lifetime after lifetime, we withhold love. And so, lifetime after lifetime, we are given the opportunity. Are you going to show love now? Are you going to give love to yourself, to others now? We have fragmented parts of ourself that exist in time that are yearning to be brought into wholeness. That is the energy of the electric body, of the soul. It is the part of the whole. It is the whole part of Source that came to experience itself. So when we unify and align ourselves to the electric body, to the plasma body, to the rainbow body, to the light body, to our soul, we are unifying all of us throughout time. Now, let's be clear.
Well, yeah, I agree with her, but I mean, what she's saying is true, but she's just not trans channeling. But I understand. I mean, if she will say, I'm not really trans channeling or getting messages and translating it or saying it to people, she might not get the same attention. But anyway, it's interesting also that many times people who are channeling or humans who pretend to be channeling, they are just projecting themselves, meaning that in psychology, they it's very easy to see it because many humans see everything from their point of view, so they explain everything from their point of view. So if they have some kind of fears, they will talk eventually. They project their fears, they project their way of looking at things, their idea of reality, they project it through their words. And when it's real channeling, the, there is no projection, or it's not in the same way. It's a different point of view, not so human usually. Some beings are familiar with humans, so they can speak more in a human way. But let's see.
All of the other parts of you throughout time, that's not where your attention is meant to be. If your attention were meant to be there, then that's where your consciousness would be. Your consciousness is right here, which means your job is to stay focused on evolving this point of consciousness, not wondering about what past life you had and what you were doing back then in the 15th century, none of that. It is about what you're doing right here and now. The reason why that is important to know is because it is too easy for the human mind to get caught up in the stories of the past, and that's not helping you evolve. It's not doing anything to further your connection and ultimate unity with your soul. If, and I have said this from the beginning to all of my students, to all of the people who receive readings with me, to anybody who comes to be with me in person.
Okay, she's talking about her students, which is a projection. This is exactly what I was talking about. Many people project themselves, talking from their perspective. So she's here projecting themselves. You can see that she's talking from her point of view because she's just probably kind of, let's say she's saying, I keep telling my students about this. So let's say there is some kind of frustration telling that their students are not really learning. I mean, I'm just guessing this, but it is like, yes, I have this frustration. So she's just projecting her frustration through this. Maybe she's not frustrated. I'm just guessing, but this is just one way of how they project their their beliefs, their ideas, their way of looking at things. But anyway, the question was, is she really channeling? Well, no, I don't think so. But okay, let's keep more a few seconds and that's it. Let's finish this video.
And I say this all the time. If there is something for you to know, you're going to know. Period. That's it. That's that.
That's a very common way of telling people things. That I hear this from everyone. So yes, that's true, but sometimes people really need something more than that. Anyway, I think I'm gonna finish the video now. It's quite long, but I think I gave maybe I was also projecting myself, but it does. I mean, the good thing is to be aware of what we're doing. That's even if we project ourselves, it will be very good for us to be aware of it because then we can look at authentically how we are reacting to certain things. And actually, from my point of view, one of the reasons why I'm doing these kind of videos is because many years ago, I felt like I was wasted time with many fake gurus. So my way of trying to help people to avoid these kind of things, and also because now I have a lot of experience working or indirectly working with fake channelers and with real ones as well, I understand much better this business of spirituality, and some people have very good intentions, but others they really just care about money or having some attention. and I feel comfortable, and I feel like it's very unfair to, obviously this is just my opinion and I can be wrong, but I feel very confident about what I'm saying, and I feel like it can help some people. And so what I'm trying to say with this is that there's probably, I mean, I can see some projection of me on trying to focus on these people and say, no, this is not real. So this is some kind of motivation for me, because in the past I experienced this, and I use this as a motivation to help whoever gets any help with this information. So as you can see, I'm also like, everyone who is talking is projecting themselves in one way or another. So especially when we have some kind of motivation, it's because we are um, projecting something from ourselves. So I have noticed also in me that I'm projecting here, that I have this eager to speak up whenever I see something is um, not authentic, because I feel like it's helping me and it might help others. But anyway, I'm gonna stop the video here. I hope it's helpful. And remember, this is just my opinion. If you want to get more details about all this, everything is in the books. The information about the books is in the descriptions of every video. So you just go there, you will see the links, and you can get the books there with all the information. And anyway, okay, so that's all for today, and see you in the next video.